Hi everybody, good morning. It's Victoria from Ask the Angels, and it's the weekly angel card reading for week commencing March the 19th through to Sunday the 25th. And the deck of cards that I chose to use today is this really lovely Wisdom of Avalon Oracle cards by Colette Baron-Reid. And I'm not sure if I've done a weekly angel card reading with these yet. I used to use them a lot, and then I stopped, and then I went to Glastonbury a couple of years ago, and I picked them back up again, and was drawn to pull them this morning. And they're actually, I'll show you the three cards in a minute that I've pulled, but they're very interesting ones that have come, because this deck of cards, with it being the ancient wisdom of Avalon, obviously, which is where the seat of Glastonbury sits, they really help us to gain insight into our path, into our journey, to help us manifest our dreams, to help us have a little bit more clarity as to where we are wanting to go if we're not sure necessarily. They're a really, really beautiful deck of cards. And this has never happened before either. I listen to music a lot. Personally, also if I'm doing readings and if I'm doing Reiki. But this morning, while I was clearing this deck of cards and while I was shuffling them and putting Reiki energy into them and asking them for highest good, there were a few people that popped into my mind. But I was also drawn to playing a particular Healing Chant, which and I'll tell you, I'll put this in the email when I send this out with the link, so that you know which one it was in case you're interested to listen to it. But the Healing Chant was Jap Man Sat Nam. And that song is all about, or the chant is all about, bringing prosperity and all about helping us to fulfill our desires. So how amazing is that, when this card is really, this deck of cards helps us to really do that. And actually the cards that came are also really interesting, that kind of go along that theme as well. So I really feel that this week for the weekly angel cards are about helping people to maybe get a little bit more clarity, to not be so fearful about questioning things, about moving things, about looking at things perhaps, because I'm really feeling that the people that this reading will resonate with this week are those that are just feeling a little bit frustrated, a little bit scared with regards to where their journey is going, needing more clarity, but just perhaps even in that space of doing this a little bit and going, I can't even look at it, I'm so scared, but I know it just isn't right. But they're almost trudging and keeping moving on this on the treadmill of life, if you like, without necessarily having clarity as to where to go, because there's just so much going on. They perhaps even can't feel as though they can't even take the time to look at it. So I got a really big sense of that with firstly choosing this deck of cards, then with that piece of music, and then with when I was pulling the cards, I also got that feeling. So I'll share with you the cards that I have today, and hopefully it will resonate with those of you that it needs to resonate with, and you'll get some guidance and some support from the cards this week. So the first one that came is this. I love this card because this is all about tapping into your incredible power, but it's also a card about not necessarily taking action. It's about going on that journey and trusting your inner self and connecting with it. Something that, if you're busy and in that headspace of I can't even think about it, will be a struggle. I get that, and I can be like that too. Please don't think that I'm anywhere near perfect with this at all. I'm not, but it's important for me, it's important to heed the messages that I get, and sometimes it needs to be painful for me to look at it, but other times it's just sometimes about loving myself enough and being courageous enough to look at it. So this first card is number 2 in the deck. It's the High Priestess, and this card, you can see the words at the top, hopefully you can see them: discernment, prescience, prophecy, and vision. And this woman is incredible. Look at all the things going on in this card. We've got a raven, we've got angels down here over this side, we've got the moon up here where they're tapping into that incredible lunar energy, we've got flowers, we've got this concoction that's in front of her, but then you can see there's this side bowl that's being created, this one here, of things that she can't even necessarily see are being created as a result of some of the things that she's doing, in a good way. So by drawing this card and this card coming, it's really asking you to connect with your intuition. It's asking you to keep developing, keep working on that, keep bringing that to the front, the importance of your development, your growth, that although you're keeping moving forward, there are things that are happening as a result of the things that you're doing. So it's asking you to trust. So you might not necessarily be able to see the bigger picture, where it's going necessarily, but all of the things that you're doing are all pieces of the jigsaw that are helping you to move forward. It's about trusting in that higher knowledge, that higher connection, and it's about tapping into that. So sitting quietly in meditation, or doing some journaling, or doing some writing, or just simply asking. You might get more dreams, perhaps more vivid dreams where messages are being revealed. You can also always ask before you go to sleep. If that's something that resonates with you, ask the angels or whatever it is that you connect with to help reveal things to you while you're asleep, to help you to have more of a vision, of an understanding, of an insight into where to go next. But it's really asking you, and I know this is hard, to go beyond the chaos of life, to go beyond the chaos of my thoughts, of my inner chatter, of my inner noise, to really, and it's not that you don't care, but to move above it, to move above all of the tiredness and the difficulty, and really to just spend a little bit of time connecting with that higher self, paying attention to those things, asking for that true destination, for that true purpose of yours to be revealed to you, so that that helps you with your path as well. And actually knowing that you have this incredible support all around you, and it might be people, it might be something that's around you, but you've got this support, and this high priestess is really powerful internally. And it's about sitting. It's not about action necessarily. It's about sitting quietly, allowing all of those ideas, those thoughts to come, trusting in that process. So it's almost stopping that busyness, that quiet place to get into, to allow some of those ideas to flow through to you, to help you with that, with those next steps, or to help you have some clarity. The next card is the owl, number 13. So this is from the animal guides of the Avalon suit of the deck, and this card's about deception, but it's also about wisdom. So this owl is giving you eyes to see in the dark. So although you can't necessarily see, it's giving you those feelings, those gut feelings, or those just intuitive senses that you just know. So it's suggesting that there is perhaps deception or lies going on around you. And so by calling on that owl, it will allow you to see those real intentions of those people around you. Someone potentially is not being authentic with you. There's somebody that hasn't necessarily got your best interests at heart, or they're not really revealing everything to you. So there's some deception going on. So you will know that, you will sense it. So it's saying and asking you to be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself about deception and lies that are going on around you, but also potentially the lies or deception that you're pushing down in yourself and not allowing to come up, perhaps because of fear. So it's a warning of being, a prisoner of yourself as well, if you're potentially lying to yourself about things. And what I mean by lying to yourself is that you're not being honest about how you feel about something, or what you want necessarily. You're pushing it down through fear, or through not wanting to look at it for whatever reason, maybe because it's easier, but ultimately we know it never is. So it's calling on you to really seek out the truth in those dark places, in those places that are perhaps hidden, that you don't necessarily want to go to, or you don't want to bring up. um, and that owl is really a powerful and important ally for you that will really help and support you. And then the last card is the Wasp. Anger, retaliation, and jealousy. So this card is a little bit of a warning. It's asking you to be mindful about how you're showing up to situations, how you're perhaps addressing the world, how you're addressing those people around you. And it's saying be careful about stinging someone or about being stung because of your reaction or interaction with somebody or with something. Don't waste a sting on something that's petty or something that's a quarrel that really doesn't warrant it. Might be because of jealousy and jealousy or envious a reaction to something. It might be perhaps because you're feeling a little bit of a victim of somebody who has reacted in that way. But it's really asking you to just, because of lack or fear or jealousy or anger, it's asking you to really send love and light and compassion to that situation, to that person, to that place. So stay clear of that something that's going on. Stay clear of that situation. Don't bring yourself into it. Mind your own business. And I'm not saying that in a telly off way, but you know, if it's nothing to do with us, then we're best to just mind our own business and not get involved in it, not pick up other people's stuff, not have opinions about it. There's a great saying that I was once shared with: if it's not my business, then it's God's business. So therefore, it's nothing to do with me. It's the other person's business. Saying that, you know, don't be afraid to also defend yourself if you need to. So if somebody is perhaps being negative or they are being retaliative in a way that is harmful to you, then it's stand up for your beliefs. It's not about rolling over and not saying anything, but and obviously making sure that you're protecting yourself as well. So those are the weekly angel card readings for week commencing the 19th of March. My little girl will be 3 tomorrow on the 19th of March. I had to pause this video because she walked in the door, Mummy. So hopefully that wasn't too I can't even think of the word. So I've done the angel card readings this morning because we're taking it to see Peter Rabbit this afternoon and we're going for breakfast tea. So thank you all so much for watching this reading. I hope you found it of benefit. And just again, this week's reading is from the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle Cards by Colette Baron Reid. A beautiful deck of cards, really very nice. And I shall be back next week, everyone. Take care, lots of love, bye.